Hello everybody, and welcome to NorCal Slot Car Scene. When I first heard that Electric Dreams was going to have a special event in August, I marked that on my calendar because I've raced there a few times and it's one of the best places on the West Coast to race. When it was announced that it was going to be a slotted nationals for Group C cars, I was eagerly awaiting the race since with my partner Bob Ahuli, we'd won the last Group C race, the Christmas Enduro, in December. Today I'm going to concentrate a little bit on the race and actually the car I ran in the race and how it was prepared. Here are three of the cars that I took to the event. On the left is the Porsche 956 that Bob and I won the Christmas Enduro with. In the center is the American flag liveried Porsche 956 that's on the poster for the event. And on the right was the car that I raced. We'll get into that in just a minute. But first, we have a special guest.
This is NorCal Slot Car Scene, and this is Maurizio Ferrari, owner of Slotted.
So good morning, North California. Good morning, NorCal. I'm happy to be here. It's a privilege. Thank you, everyone, for the great turnout to this race.
Thank you for putting this on and creating a great line of products. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Actually, it's Electric Dreams that's been putting this on. We have been supporting them, but there's a really big effort on their side to organize all the event.
Yeah, we appreciate you and Marco as well, so thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
When the local drivers started testing for this race, including my friend Rick Jocham from HO Racing, it was evident that the new Jaguar XJR10 was going to be the car to beat. It's longer and wider and extremely easy to drive fast. So I prepared two of the new Jaguar XJR10s, including this custom livery that I did out of a white kit that I purchased at Electric Dreams. This would end up being my race car. When I first put the Jaguar on the track, it was obvious that Rick was right, and I decided to concentrate on my two Jaguars as my race cars. I finally decided on the blue and white Jaguar as the car to race, and it was off to Tech.
Have a seat.
I feel like I'm going into the principal's office at high school when I did something bad.
Yeah, maybe. Order number. Chassis sending. Not using hollow axles in front, right?
Correct.
Okay, can I put the body back on?
No narrowed front tires.
A little bit, but that's okay.
No, these are...
My car went through Tech without any issues, and I got my pass sticker, and it was ready to put the car in impound and prepare for qualifying. When you take off the body and look at how this car is set up for this race as opposed to the Christmas Enduro, there are two major changes, other than the fact that it's the Jaguar XJR10. The first is the gear. We're using the slotted modular gears that use discs to reduce the friction and improve the gear mesh. Once you get these modular gears properly set and broken in, they are whisper quiet and make the car incredibly smooth around the track. The biggest difference by far, however, is the rear wheel and tire. Since this was an open category and you could run any wheel and tire that's available, to get the lower center of gravity that we're looking for, we ended up running NSR 13mm by 13mm rear F1 wheels along with Ultra Grip NSR Evo rubber. This comparison shot shows how much lower the car was as opposed to the car we ran last December. The ride height on this car is roughly 25 thousandths of an inch. We were required to run the stock plastic slip-on wheels, but you could change the front tires, so I did so with the slotted zero grip front tires. The tires are set to be about 10 thousandths of an inch off the setup block. The motors we used for this event were stock slotted motors, but they were hand-out and sealed so you couldn't tamper with them. We did try a little bit of break-in, but that didn't seem to make any difference, and the motor that I ran was stock out of the box with just the track time I had before the race on it. We were allowed to secure the motor to the motor pod with screws. The only ballast allowed were two slotted tungsten weights that replaced the magnets. We put one in front of the motor and one behind the motor. I used an NSR wood guide that has to be slightly trimmed to fit the slotted chassis. I think the majority of the racers were using the Slot Invasion guide designed specifically for the slotted chassis. I installed a new set of braids in the last practice session before the race, and after an 18-minute heat, an 18-minute semi, and a 30-minute rain, here's what the braids look like. At the end of the A main, we ended up finishing second, 2 laps off the lead, in one of the best slot car races I've ever attended. Thanks to Marco and to Maurizio for making this possible. I'd also like to thank Rick Jocham and Walt Baines. We bounced ideas off each other for a month or so preceding this race to make sure we had the fastest possible cars. Plus, NorCal did pretty good. We finished second, third, and fourth with myself, Ian Douglas, and Herman James. I'll have more videos later, including outlining how to set up the modular gear and a trip to the incredible LA Slot Car Museum. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Jim Rose with NorCal Slot Car Scene.